little by little, but I think everything is fixed. I think everything actually looks better. I know the side score line is a little bit different, but it's been hard to actually edit it. I'll figure out a way though. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebirth, they already making their way through over towards the B sites. I mean, okay, it is what it is. If they could just hold W with just maybe 1 or 2 flashes from Exotic, if it works, it works. Icy is now the last person remaining in a 1v5. And, they're hounding. They're able to get it. So, yeah, to run through that entire round, Rebirth, they have a W key on their keyboard, and they pressed it. Sometimes they press mouse 1, and they press mouse 1 pretty well. I think that's my expert analysis on the round. That's really all I have to say about the round. Rebirth, they've played 8 times on Mirage in the past 3 months. They've won 4 of them. So they go half and half on this map. Of course, with this being their map pick, they're quite confident on it, as confident as they did on Inferno. And this one, of course, this round is looking more like a wash. You already have the USPs with really no upgrades at all. Carson running through his smoke. No, a Mac 10. Carson might go down. He's down to 19 HP. Retchie, though, with an AK. That's a frag and it's done. 2-0 star. Update scores, I'm trying. Let's see if I can actually fix it. I apologize that it looks weird, but give me a second. How's that? Oh, I did it. It is edited. It is done. Solo production, solo casting. It's the many joys of Counter-Strike. And do I miss it? In some aspects, yes. Would I like flippy bits behind the keys instead? Maybe. Is what it is. Yeah, another one for Rebirth, by the way. Man with a Mac 10 just makes his way through. If I'm not mistaken, that's Curry. And, well, gets that pretty easily. Bomb still hasn't gone down yet, with Icy still remaining on site. Wrath goes for the fake, and he goes around the corner, and it's nothing. Still Braun and Frosty K, last 2 players remaining. They booted on quite a bit of damage. So there's a possibility that Big Chillin could still get a couple of frags out of this and make this at least a little bit expensive for Rebirth. But indeed, they will not. Curry literally just taps through the smoke. And a couple of shots to the feet is what it is. So now Big Chillin with their first full buy, and no way they're doing it again. They're actually doing it again. No early util over towards apartments. You would like to see something at least anticipated, but mine is good reaction. Here's the footsteps going up apartments, and essentially just pulls a 180, and he's ready for the window drop. I mean, Rebirth was pretty much treating this as a pug for the last few maps. Or not the last few maps, the last few rounds. I mean, that's essentially how they treated it on Inferno, so that might actually be correct, but it's a little bit of a overstatement. As now Rebirth, they actually have control of the mid side. Exotic with a Mac 10. No way he actually gets a lot of damage here. Oh, wait, right. He's just on his lonesome, on a lurk. Most of the tension should be over towards the mid side. Early util setup. Just to clear up some space, see if they can actually get something cheeky out of it, like a player sitting up in stairs or something of the sorts. Potentially one in bench, but nothing done. With mid control being fully theirs, Rebirth has a whole lot of options, and they eventually pick one out. It's going to be yet another B take with actually Curry sitting up in snipers, waiting up for the rotation to go by, but they eventually have to go first. It's going to be Braun in the front end, actually taking down Curry. Minus is here for the lurk, and I mean, just for the first contact. But Icy is here to try to clean things up, and indeed he does. Single frag for Icy. Braun essentially out of thin air, gets himself 3 in the round. And that's going to be Big Chillin with the large bulk of their kills. Only having 2 kills in the first 3 rounds. So this one's a whole lot bigger. Rebirth. Essentially running the same rifles for 2 rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row, actually. And in this one, they finally get what would be a more optimal setup. They have the AWP back on Exotic, but Carson tries to run away, and Braun through the smoke. I mean, it's a blind shot, but we take those, folks. You already know the ideology. You already know how we do. That's going to be Braun. At least putting his team up at a man advantage, but they're still way more attention over towards the mid side for Rebirth than I had initially anticipated them to have. But Wrath, Lurkin Palace. I don't think anyone really has an eye on it. Micro, no, he has an eye on everything. He's essentially just having his head on a swivel. He's trying to get as much contact as possible, and that's beautiful for Exotic. Anticipating the window position. Braun up front. With sight being taken and Wrath not peeking out yet. This could get dicey for Big Chillin as this post plants for Rebirth is very risky. They still have more than enough util to actually go for it though. They need the opening frags. But the front line's icy. Same thing with Minus. With Braun in the back line looking for any swings, trying to clean up. Curry, this is where he thrives. Playing around A-box. And he's going to be able to take down 2. Frosty K, last person remaining in a 1v4, going to be able to save his AUG. But Big Chillin's economy is down in the dumps, and Rebirth with quite the successful starts to their T-side. Shoutouts to some new folks in the chat that have come by for map number 2. Shoutouts to... Love this guy's name always. Young Scissorp. Shoutouts to Dank Evan too. I think I'm sensing a theme in those names. Welcome Tarek. Thank you guys for coming on by. More pistols for Big Chillin. Their economy shambolic. Can't do nothing with it. It's flimsy. So I have to stick around at around the half-buy range. With Frosty K having the hero rifle in quite the predicament of a spot. I mean, the spot under Palace is very versatile, so it's not really a surprise. But is it really the optimal spot for the AUG? Is it really an optimal spot to really hold off the take? It's such a one-and-done spot, but we've seen so many highlight plays from that one position. So who knows? Frosty K just waiting for his opportunity to strike. The rest of Big Chillin still just waiting up for what would be a singular contact, a singular pixel, or just a peep from the other side. And indeed, they have him. In comes the smokes. In comes the util. Minus. Gonna be looking over towards the Palace position on top of Frosty. But Frosty is going down little by little. Minus does get more damage. Not only that, but in goes the drop from Retchie. Frosty K gonna be able to get one. But like I mentioned, one and done. This guy is practically stuck, but still going up the ladder area. He's taking on so much damage. Down to 12. Exotic still holding down the line, but the pistols are here. Carson is here more likely though. 12 seconds left. Has to get the frags. This guy is so slow to actually make his way on. Frosty K through the smoke. Gets the kill onto Carson. And that's an eco round for Big Chillin. Going absolutely massive. So at least some hype stuff for Big Chillin. But again, this isn't exactly the end game or the end of the road. With the economy being pretty much redistributed throughout the team. And Rebirth having a very similar buy, except for Carson. Still very much that same threat. Except this time it's actually early mid pressure. It's a little bit of a default too. Looking for some early frags. to see if they can make some space. No linear take. Curry, oh, this is nuts. Smoke dissipates, and he's able to take down the Opera Brawn. Frosty K in that same position. Molly up front. Could have actually been a pretty cool bait, but that's not exactly what he's going for. Bounces off the wall. So still a man advantage for Rebirth. Icy. The sole contender of the B side, and he walks into a whole heck of a lot of pixels. So many players around the corner, waiting up for players to walk into his crosshairs, but he has to push the situation. Gets one back, but he's immediately traded out by Wrath. Not only that, but it's really the Mac 10 that gets affected. Minus with a little bit of damage. Just awaiting the opportunity, more like. He didn't actually want to pull the trigger, but instead, it's now going to be great post-plant positions for Rebirth. And Exotic, as sharp as always with that AWP. And the round is done. Micro and Frosty K are out of there. Oh, Micro with one exit frag, but Frosty K, no. You hate to see it. That affects the team so much. So Frosty K, at about that 10K mark, he had a rifle in his hands, could have been able to redistribute that, could have been able to sauce it down. Not only that, but buy one or two other rifles. Braun could have been able to do the same thing. If they wanted to maintain the half buy, everyone would have pistols. But Frosty K instead now, he finds himself in this tricky position, but with an AWP in hand, being the hero that he is, he gets an early frag in Palace. What on earth? Well, that's cheeky, but we see it a lot. It's quite easy to actually transition from there because, I mean, really no one from Rebirth was in that position. Indeed, Frosty K goes down, but Curry, oh my! Quick on the trigger, quick on the reaction, checks right under them, and immediately that's going to be a frag back. Make it a third for Curry. Jeez, man. Icy 1v4, has a USP. Still could take down one more in Carson. That was a sick headshot, but it's no more than that. Rebirth, 6-2 over Big Chillin, and this is a big round for them. As Rebirth from this round alone, they could take the advantage going into the second half. And of course, more extra credit could come after. Pause now. And it's more than anticipated tactical pause for Big Chillin. With the pause being gone, and Rebirth back in business in a sense, I really want to see how they actually treat out these rounds, because really they're off-the-cuff takes. I mean, it does seem like they have some sort of idea of what they want to do at the very beginning of the rounds, but it almost seems like they keep defaulting again and again and again. And after they readjust, it's really all too efficient. Love that nade. It's gonna go a little bit too deep. Exotic does take on a little bit of damage, though. Braun with a cross has Palace fully in view. Still a lurker in B, and that's actually dragging out two players to the attention. With the A site really being the thing to really lock down on. That smoke is going to be just enough to make some space for them to take on the sandwich cross, but Wrath has an eye on a player on top of box. And that's going to be the round. Icy and minus. Barely anything to work with. And I go so far to say the round because, man, there's no way they can make their way back. Two exit frags for Icy. Catching up the first lurk, and it's really two exit frags for him as he takes down Wrath. With a 1v1, it looks good on paper, but the round is over. And Carson, quick little cheeky spot in apartments. 2-7. Big Chillin back to pistols. It's going to be a long season, folks. We have 6 weeks of Esea Premier action. You guys don't want to miss 1 second of it. For the next 3 weeks, I will not be broadcasting on my channel. I'll be broadcasting directly from Esea themselves. But starting, I think in March, I'll be back on this channel. Should be a fun time. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, I thought I could ramble. I thought I could have a fun time. But this team, Big Chillin, always on these ecos. They always seem to find some sort of miracle. Are you kidding me? Rebirth runs out with a full setup, something that we haven't seen in a while. Big Chillin, they gamble in the right place. But that wouldn't be enough for the frags. That wouldn't be enough to win the round. Just raiding it out. I mean, strategically it works. But they need the frags first. And what a performance. Early on. Last said in chat, good momentum halter. There would be no other round to really piece out the momentum of Big Chillin if Rebirth can win this one back. But oh my good lordy. The chunkiest of nades. Doing over 100 damage in one go to 2 players. Big Chillin. No man advantage just yet. More cheekier. Retchy made his way through snipers, and now he's on, at least onto minus. Micro. He was spotted a little bit earlier, or at least heard a little bit earlier. Still, Icy over towards the B site, but a singular lurk on A. I mean, Rebirth is literally everywhere. There's no space to work with. That interaction on site is going to be huge. Let's keep an eye on it. Micro. Make some noise and going to be able to take that one, but still the trade back for Exotic. Icy now in a 1v2, but Exotic! Exotic was down low since the very beginning of the round, and he still snacks 2. Big Chillin. Whatever tempo they had going for them, whatever momentum they had going into that last round, seeped away. Rebirth. They achieved what they were looking for a little bit early on, which is the 8th round to take the advantage going into the second half. But still with 4 rounds remaining, they can get a couple of more, can't they? Oh, Micro. No coverage, especially with the fact that these players could pop out at any moments. No eyes on Palace, so he had to keep his essentially keep his head on a swivel. So with a force buy now, Big Chillin. Really just looking for the right options, looking for the right interactions, but, well, folks, you see the B site. This is wide open. Frosty K backs out of his position. D from Carson. Does a whole lot of damage. And for Icy and Minus, a difficult decision. Do they dedicate themselves to go in? And indeed they did, with Exotic looking over towards the cat area. And that's going to be the round done. Icy, 1v4. And again, drastic measures for this team as they continuously go down to the individual interactions. Lapses in judgment. Rebirth, treating this like a pug. Out-fragging Big Chillin. Out-moving. Out-maneuvering Big Chillin. Big for Braun. The Deagle comes out to play. That's at least 1 kill back. It's just the Mac 10, though. That was just Retchy being Retchy and literally just holding W down mid. One under Palace. There's a 3-man hold of the A sites. More importantly, Minus. This is something that Big Chillin just simply hasn't done. Aggressive positions. We saw one in the back of Apps, but again, with that midline being wide open, what's the point? But this time, they're not exactly worrying about that entire pressure. It's actually going to be over towards the A site. Carson, Exotic, all getting frags as a 3-piece. One last person remaining on this hold is going to be Braun. That does get some damage onto Wrath. But what a jump from Curry. Actually throws off the tracking from Braun. Can still get some more damage. Braun gets the frag. Wrath now in a 1v2, essentially. Just looking out towards that position. But Exotic, he has a sidearm of his own, and he's not scared to use it. Gets the headshot, and that's the round. Rebirth, 10-3. Well, this is another big one for Big Chillin, but again, how many times can I say that, really? With this team getting caught off in all sorts of positions. And right as I say that, it's either a commentator's curse or a commentator's blessing. Depends what team you're looking at. But it's Rebirth that's reaping the rewards. Micro in the back lines, he gets himself one, but there's nothing for him. Icy now in a 1v4, and he goes down immediately. Exotic catches him off on the rotation back. 3-11, as swiftly as it started. Forced buyout for Big Chillin. This Rebirth team, I said it at the beginning of the broadcast, and I'll say it again. This is a championship caliber team. If it weren't for really just the density of talent in the Premier League, I would be remiss to say that this team has a solid chance of taking some silverware at the end of things. Big Chillin, however. For all of these players, I mean, it's not exactly their debut in this tier of CS for Esea, but certainly it's a different challenge. It's a different landscape. But at least into this round, we do have the rifles. It's going to be Carson taking away the first frag. There's still two over towards the CT area, trying to trade. Micro might have the first contact if it weren't for that Molly, so instead it is going to be Carson. Wow. Catching off the rotation, Micro gonna go down to Exotic. That's yet another systematic defeat of Big Chillin by Rebirth. 12-3. It's a long road back. I would like to say again, thank you guys so much for watching tonight's broadcast. I haven't casted CS on this channel in a very long time, but I've been keeping up with commentary in my own career, of course. I'm going to be... Oh, gosh. I don't know if I can say this. Announcement tomorrow in terms of Valorant. And you guys will be able to see me back in Counter-Strike starting next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, on the Esea channel. So you'll see a whole lot more of me this season. But for tonight, who knows what we'll... Who knows how much time we actually have? We're just gonna have to find out. A pistol round win would definitely extend things. Four players in the CT area for Big Chillin. Oh, Wrath. Walking into the jaws of the beast, and Minus takes him down immediately. He was able to spot too, but they have zero clue that there's this amount of players over towards that one spot. Micro is here for the cleanup and to essentially drag away all that pressure. Exotic gets one back, but in goes the complete wide swing. Good setup from Big Chillin. It's just the 1-2 combo on site. They take, I mean, honestly, it's a weird setup, but it's definitely worthwhile if they have the right contact player on site. And indeed they did. Fourth round back for Big Chillin. Hey, yes, CJ, bringing on a party of 40. What's up, buddy? And you walk in right into what is a clinical kill from Rechi. Takes his time and takes down Braun. For those tuning in, you guys are watching Rebirth versus Big Chillin. Of course, a full BO3 here for Esea Premier. First map was Inferno. Now we're into Mirage. Rebirth taking a 12-3 half in relatively easy fashion, almost puggy fashion even. But Big Chillin winning out the pistol round and might just reset Rebirth here. They have a good chance. With the Rebirth boys split up 2-1 between the A and B sites. Still have a couple of chances for frags, but Curry on the scouts. It was that immediately. What a frag. Retchy in jungle. Solo with a D. He's slowly peeking, but he's out and away. Has full armor. And a D could definitely get a couple of exit frags, but Carson tries to get cheeky with it. Minus is there for the cover-up. Retchy now with a couple of opportunities. Going to be able to get one. Still down to 8 HP. Goes for the wide swing, but that's going to be the kill back for Icy. 12-5, Big Chillin. Should be a bonus coming up in this next round. Okay. I have to talk about this. Someone said, ew, Valorant. I assume that's a joke, but it's also for real. Not a lot of people like Valorant, but I definitely do a lot of tier 1 things in Valorant, and it's been very good to me. I mean, game's fun. Can't dock it. It's been lots of fun. You know what isn't fun? This take for Big Chillin. If you're talking about Rebirth side of things. They get essentially baited out over towards B by a singular person, but they were already aiming towards that position in the first place. So the fast rotations just go over towards that position. But what are they doing? Still Big Chillin over towards the CT area. Is going to be Frosty K around the corner. Has to take on 2. In goes a pop flash, and Frosty K still has to take on a couple of frags. Can't be able to get one. All 5 players in CT for the Rebirth side. They combine for the frags. Micro and Icy, last 2 players remaining. Bomb is right in front of Micro. He discovers, he gives away his position. He's going to go down. Icy goes down, and Rebirth unbelievably take back the round. It's the pistols, but it's an orchestra that's all too beautiful for them. 13-5, and Big Chillin, they're on skates, and they're slipping. Double CT against pistols. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Those post plants were weird, playing Firebox. Lots to think about in that round. Really just contemplating really everything that just happened, because that was just overall unfortunate. Still Big Chillin have a chance. They have the AKs. Very limited util, however. We haven't seen a B hit from Big Chillin just yet, and there might be a chance for it. They lead bomb all the way back over towards spawn and app side. But even with it being app side, they up to go back towards ramp, where they actually have Frosty K just looking over towards the ramp area, seeing if anyone actually wants to pop through. With the limited amount of util that these players actually have, they're going to have to use it. It's a one and done. They've got one chance. They got to prove it. It's Curry and Exotic. Exotic, a rare miss. Curry with a great cross spot. Going to be able to take that one. That's a one tap from him too. Gets himself 2. Retchy and Exotic are here to help. Micro, last person remaining in a 1v5. He gets one. The 180. Yes, of course. I mean, have to anticipate it. He kept spraying. Good idea. Could have been sick, but it's not going to work out in his favor. 14-5, and Rebirth have Big Chillin up against the ropes on an eco. The Glock's going to mid, but it's actually 3 more players around that area, and it's a massacre. Frosty K thought he was slick, but Curry One bullet as the molly chips away at him. Jeez. $15-5. Map and match point for Rebirth. Again, a fundamental, and like I mentioned before, a systemic beating of Big Chillin. All of it going directly in their favor, and oh lordy. Already frags going back and forth. Reggie gonna be able to get one. Same thing with Exotic. Reggie, oh no. Reggie, don't tell me you do this. Looking over towards top mid. He was moving. That bullet goes a little bit awry, and ooh, icy. Okay. A little bit of a jump spot. Don't know if that was mid-air. But if it was, it's at least a highlight frag from himself. 3-on-3. The third man, Carson. Anchoring on the B sites. Gonna have to take this one up solo as Big Chillin. They make their first attempt over towards this site. Micro gonna be the first contact. Stops right in the middle of the crosshairs for Carson. Still has about 60 HP and a little bit of util to actually use. He can bide his time as the rest of Rebirth start to rotate on back. Molly in the back line. Icy gets flashed. Rebirth. They're all over towards Market for now. And it's just frags on top of frags as Micro and Frosty K, last two players remaining. Frosty K essentially waiting for his doom. Carson has been waiting in this position forever, but now it's 2-on-1 with Exotic with a quick scope, and Wrath finishes it off. Nail in the coffin. Rebirth Esports with a debut for Esea Premier, snagging in their first win in 2-0 sweep fashion. So, man, oh, man. So, that's it, right? That's it for the best of 3 tonight. Big Chillin with the best of efforts. I mean, there's really nothing much that you can do against this team. They had a chance at the first half of Inferno. And it just seems like Rebirth is more ready. I don't really know what else to really say about this game other than the fact that we saw Rebirth winning a lot of just individual duels. They were a whole lot more confident in terms of their actual individual takes, but lots of chances in a sense for Big Chillin that they ended up squandering throughout the entire game. And again, those are just things that they will be able to change throughout the season, but there's not many games to actually go through. Gotta watch out for relegation, but I've been a little bit down on Big Chillin. As much as I love them, folks, they lose out in their first game of the season. Big shoutouts to Big Chillin, though. They have actually supported me for this stream. And if you guys want to go check them out, at Big Chillin Inc. on Twitter. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this best of 3. My name is Upmind. You can follow me on Twitter at Upmind_. Of course, follow me here on Twitch. The next time that I will be live with Esea Premier will be in about 3 weeks. As for the next 3 weeks, I will be on the Esea channel. You guys do not want to miss it. It's going to be me and Boggs bringing you guys 2 best of 3s next week. Of course, starting up next Tuesday on what might be a little bit bigger of an occasion. We're watching only the highlight games, folks, and you guys don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for your support. I see you guys in chat. Kenzie, thank you so much. BTTR boss, coming in a little bit late, but I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for coming on by. I saw a Brazilian in the chat. E aí, amigo, tamo juntos. Fingy, Exner even coming by. All you boys, you guys are great. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the love, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.